word on the street is out. Cenat is turning over a new leaf. What does that mean? Watch the video to find out. Let me ask you this. Once you get a certain reputation on the internet, right?
All right.
How hard do you think it is to try to shake that reputation? What people think of you, like once you get that into people's heads?
That's the thing about the internet. Like, you can't live by the internet, because when you uphold this image and you decide to not withhold an image no more, they don't like you no more. Like, you'll have a couple fans that understand. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this change is good. And you had a group of fans, oh, he's not the same no more. His content doesn't hit the same anymore. Oh, he's just not. I don't like the way he dresses anymore. Like, they could dress more distinguished. Oh, I don't like this anymore. This ain't the same one we had in 2016. At the same time, with the internet, they don't care. They came there. They there for the reason you grasped them for. That content that you had put out, that was like, it might have been clip farming or something, or you might have been doing something crazy. That's what they came there for. And when it's not there, they don't care anymore.
I think it's another thing about it. It's like the YouTube is going to feed you, TikTok is going to feed you, Instagram is going to feed you everything that you want to see, everything you like, everything you're interested in. That's what you're going to see. So if you have a creator who decides to change it up, who decides to switch it up, who decides that this is not what they want to do anymore, well, that aspect of them, those videos, you might see the first few. But after that, gone. Like just because it doesn't meet your interest. So that new version of him is never going to meet your eye, which means what you thought of him before you changed is all you're ever going to think of him as. And if you ever do come across the new change, if you ever do come across this new pivot, you're going to dislike it even more because you're so stuck into that box. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just think the internet is really weird when it comes to allowing people to make mistakes, or like, you don't even have to make a mistake. The internet is very unforgiving when it comes to just letting you change. I think I've only seen a handful of people who have messed up massively on the platforms. I think I've only seen a handful of people who have messed up like big time on these major platforms and really been able to turn around their reputation. Yeah. I think Speed is a good example. Like, Speed got banned on Twitch for the quote unquote incident, if you know what I'm saying. And after that, he's become one of the biggest streamers in the world. He's become a big inspiration to everybody around, content creators and kids alike. And that's very hard to pull off because it's so hard and it takes so much effort to shake off the guy that barks at everybody, the guy who does all the time, just the guy who's just loud all the time. It's really hard to shake that off, but it's not impossible. It's fair to do. And what we're about to see now is that Cenat is actually trying to make that change.
The energy and passion to want to do more and create is within me. That is why I quit.
Content creators are an interesting bunch because it seems like no matter how big you get as a content creator, some old habits really do just die hard. Things you had to rely on when you were a smaller content creator, or strategies that you employed to get your stuff off the ground when you really had no audience, seem to always find their way back into the rotation when certain content creators are not getting the results they want. And this sort of phenomenon is exactly what I believe has led us to getting the corniest clickbait campaign of all time. YouTubers love to quit YouTube, or at least they like to pretend to. I feel like this last year has been really bad for this. I don't know if anybody else has noticed that, but I feel like we've gotten a lot of fake I quit videos in the past 18 months or so, and I just don't really get it. I feel like that is the one video that you cannot post and not fully mean it without severely breaking the trust between you and your audience. You know what I mean? Like, a YouTube video titled I quit or I'm quitting or goodbye should really only ever mean one thing, and that thing is that you're quitting YouTube. You're retiring the channel. You're taking an indefinite break. I quit means I quit, and obviously YouTubers know that. Otherwise, they wouldn't use these titles to try and clickbait their audience.
I will say that's fair. When you post a video saying I quit or it's over or anything like that, you know what you're doing with that. That right there, that title is for the sole purpose of dragging people in, getting people to think a certain way, and then when in reality, obviously, that's probably not what's going to happen. I will give them that. That is fair. Because obviously, if you posted, hey guys, I'm going to change the way I move on the internet, that's not as good of a clickbaity title as I quit, obviously, for obvious reasons. But I will say, was him saying I quit that big of a clickbait?
It's Cenat. He's big. He's at the top. So obviously it's gonna everybody gonna have mixed opinions about it without even watching the video, just seeing that title. Oh, Cenat's quit YouTube? He's quitting streaming? Off rip. As soon as they saw the video, that's the first thing they thought.
Let's say he quit something. Let's just say it's a specific aspect of his life or specific aspect of his content that he just straight up quit altogether. Because I don't know. I haven't seen the video yet because I saved it for this. He could be quitting YouTube specifically. He could be quitting streaming specifically. Let's just say it was streaming. If he said, all right, I quit, and the I quit was I'm done streaming, do you think that is do you think him titling the video I quit is egregious because of that? Or is it he has to quit everything or it's just clickbait?
No, I think that's valid because he put so much effort into streaming. This man had LeBron James on his stream and all the other big celebrities, these marathons where he just don't stay on stream and don't turn the stream off. That takes a lot out of you. So
right.
If he wanted to stop streaming, what more is there for you to do? You're at the top. I don't understand what more he could do, what more he could want to do. that's one of those things. Like you have so many goals, but you've achieved all of them. So what is left for you to do?
Now, the interesting thing about what we're talking about today is that historically, these sorts of videos, these sorts of titles are used by people who really don't have anything left to lose when it comes to like their YouTube reputation, I guess. You know, if you've gotten to the point where you're trying to clickbait your audience into thinking that you're quitting YouTube just for that last drop of ad revenue, you're scraping the bottom of the barrel. At that point, you probably don't care that much about breaking that trust between you and your audience, because once you reach the stage of making fake I quit videos, you are then just trying to extract every single dollar that you possibly can from anybody who's still watching you.
That could be true in a lot of places, right? But I don't think that's true for Cenat. I just don't.
I would say he got money. That's not one of the things.
Yeah, like Cenat isn't desperate for money. He isn't desperate for attention. I guarantee you that if Cenat went live right now, it's flooding in with viewers. It's flooding in with subs.
Let's go ahead $1 million because he hasn't streamed in I don't know how long. So
Yeah, so it's not like I don't like the way he's framing it because it's not a desperation thing. It's not let me script a little bit I have left. I think it's just him taking a back seat and him realizing, hey, I want to move to something else. And then when he moves to something else, he has to make sure that everybody involved, everybody who watches, everyone who supports has to know that this change is happening. And to be honest, that is probably why he used the term I quit in his thing. So the amount of people who watch is maximized. The amount of people who see this, the amount of people who know what's going on is majority because he's going to make this change. And I don't think he's going to look back, at least no time soon. So why not make sure you can get the most amount of people, the most amount of eyes to watch this? So all you have to do is say it once. So that's why I think in this specific instance, I think the reason why he's doing it is actually the exact opposite for why this guy is accusing him of doing it. I think it's for the simple point of let me get everybody together so I can announce this once and get it over with. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because once you upload one or two of those videos, you're not really going to have anybody watching you anymore. It sounds kind of dramatic, but if your audience doesn't trust you, you don't really have an audience. And that's why you never really see big creators taking the risk of utilizing this kind of clickbait, because for most of them, it's just not worth it. Key phrase there, most of them. Recently, Cenat, one of the biggest streamers on the planet right now, and really arguably the most commercially successful streamer ever. I mean, the guy's in T-Mobile commercials during NFL games and during his subathons, he was having actual celebrities pull up every single day like it was nothing. And yet, for some reason, the other day, he felt the need to upload a YouTube video titled I Quit with a dramatic thumbnail of him staring off into the sunset. Now, real quick spoiler alert before you start crying so hard that you throw up at the thought of Cenat quitting streaming. He's not actually quitting content creation. That's not what the I Quit in the title refers to. What does it refer to, you may ask? Well, Cenat is quitting overthinking. And somehow that ties into him launching a clothing brand. And that's literally it. That's what the entirety of the I Quit video is. Literally for the past few months, like working.
No, I'm sick of this nigga. He just pulled a Corey Kingston, bro. Nah, cause like I'm sitting here really thinking, oh, this nigga, he just, you know what I'm saying, something on his mental. You know what I'm saying? I know he just broke up with Shawty. You know what I'm saying? That went horrible. That was on the internet for weeks. This nigga doing all this drop clothes.
I don't know. Like, I feel like a clothes announcement wouldn't be 40 minutes long.
I mean, yeah, but like that's probably like the main gist of it. Like he finna drop a clothing brand.
I'm pretty sure like that video, obviously clothing brand promotion, of course. But I think just like Corey is going to also explain, A, where he's been, what's been on his mind, and what's his path going forward. I think that's more or less what the video is. I don't think lengthening it and phrasing it is like, I'm gonna get on here, clickbait, and promote my clothing brand is not what that 40 minutes was. Like, I think that's really just ingenuous. And also for those who didn't watch it, people who didn't see it, obviously, you don't have to keep up with everything Cenat 24/7, blah, 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 right? It's been hints that he's just been choosing to like read more, to just do more things, travel more, because he's been posting it everywhere. Just because he didn't post a lot of those things on YouTube, he has been posting them. For those who don't know, yes, Cenat has a quote unquote hidden Instagram where he just posts everything that's on his mind, old clips, like just him reading, just him doing things he chooses to do. So Cenat hasn't been gone. He just hasn't been on his main platforms. He even had a second YouTube channel this entire time where he was just posting things where they were only getting like 200 some views. Obviously, after he unveiled it to the public, the views just like jumped, so you can't really see the original numbers. But he was still around doing his own thing. So when you say the whole I quit thing, and it turns out to be just I quit overthinking, yeah, clickbait as hell, right? Clickbait is shit. Like, I'm not even gonna like excuse that. But to like try to make it seem like he's just using his audience to just elevate clothes and stuff when that's shouldn't. Well, I'm pretty sure that's not the case. I'm pretty sure he's literally just trying to get us what's on his mind and make sure that everybody knows where this next pivot is coming from.
Promote clothes. This nigga's nasty. He's nasty. This nigga made a whole video about him reading. And all this is promotion for this clothing brand this nigga's gonna put out. When the clothing brand drop, he gonna be telling everybody to get it. You know what I'm saying? Niggas gonna have that shit on everywhere.
That's what the entirety of the I Quit video is about. How he's been in Italy for the past 3 months, like working on his clothing brand, and how he's just decided to stop overthinking. Truthfully, I think this is one of the most questionable and also one of the corniest things I've ever seen a major content creator do. Now, real quick, before we get into why I think that and also talk about the video a little bit more, I want to preface this by saying that I don't think there's anything wrong with Kai Cenat starting a fashion brand. I actually think it's really cool and really smart. There's a bit of a stigma when it comes to content creators starting a brand, and I definitely understand why that exists, because normally they're kind of shit. But I mean, if you have the means to do it, which obviously Kai Cenat does, and you're actually passionate about what you're doing, which I also think Kai Cenat is, I don't really see the problem. You know, as long as you're working to put out a good product, I think the fact that you're using your content creation money or your platform to boost it should sort of be irrelevant. I don't know Kai personally, but I do believe he's actually really into this shit. So I'm going to be honest, I've gone to Kai Cenat's Instagram before for like fit pick inspiration and outfit inspiration. The dude has some pretty cool outfits. I believe he's into fashion enough to want to start a brand. But with all that being said, the way this is being framed is pretty fucking silly. So right off the bat, there is this like glaring irony about this entire thing that really makes it hard for me to take this seriously. The brand that he's starting is called Vivette, and in the video he explains this.
The name of my clothing brand that I want to call it is Vivette. Vivette is Latin for he, she, or it will live forever. But the deeper meaning behind Vivette is to not be boxed in to what society is trying to only box you in.
Yeah, so let me just make sure I'm hearing this properly, Kai. You're making a brand where the intended message is to not let society box you in, which if you've never heard that phrase before, society boxing you in, basically just means that like once you are something to somebody, or a greater amount of somebody's, I guess, if we're talking about society here, then you will always be that thing. Like, for example, Kai thinks that since he's famous for being a streamer, he will always be seen as nothing but a streamer. And that example right there is why this shit is so silly to me. You're going to tell me that your idea for plugging the brand, that's entire message is to not let society box you in, is to plug it in the most stereotypical content creator way imaginable. Like, holy shit, are we serious?
He's not serious. I ain't gonna lie. He's not serious at all, gang. This is not serious, bro. It's just promotion of clothes. He could have just promoted the clothes regularly. I think his fans would mess with it. He didn't have to do all this. This is extra. This is extra to me. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know. The irony thing is like a stretch for me because he's a content creator, and no matter how you shake it, no matter how you feel, like people have their image of you because obviously there are certain people who will have never watched a Kai Cenat stream, but think they know Kai Cenat as a personality because they'll go on Twitter, they'll go on TikTok, and some random guy who watches Kai had their favorite clip and they uploaded it to their TikTok. So they're watching these clip pages, they're watching these Twitter news pages, and they're getting their idea of Kai Cenat from them. So when he says, I don't want to be boxed in, I don't want to be known as this, he's not specifically saying, I don't want to be known as a YouTuber, because that's him. I think the message is more deep than that. I think he just is tired of certain people looking at him as the loud guy that jumps, who if you watch old Kai would just walk into stores and be a nuisance. Like, I think he is trying to convey that, hey, Kai Cenat is more than just that loud guy you see in the clips. Kai Cenat is somebody who wants to better himself, somebody who wants to go through clothes, somebody who wants to speak better, just a guy who just wants to do better. I think that's what he means when he says that. So to try to like frame it and try to push it as if he's like being ironic is like he's trying to say, oh, I don't want people to think I'm gonna be a content creator, but I'm a content creator. Like, that's not what he's saying at all. You're just missing the mark.
Honestly, I think like where he's at in life, he's to the point where like there's not many goals left. You've done something that's damn near unachievable for like even folks on like your level. Like you climb 4 or 5 levels above. Like you've done everything on your platform that you can do.
Right.
So I think the clothes is a good step because now you taking your foot from the streaming world, YouTube world, and you jumping into the clothing designer world. I think that's good for him. I just think the way he's promoting it like this and I quit. Like, bro, he didn't have to. It could have been another way. That's all I'm saying.
And I will say though, like you saying, like there's not many other things to do, but also saying like it's good for the clothing brand. It's like, you know, kind of a little contradictory on it because he doesn't have much left to do, but he's finding stuff to do. It's the thing, the way I see it, because I'm a space out when I do this. Like usually you're moving, you're progressing in life, and then what Kai Cenat did is what I would call a leap. So he would essentially do this, right? He would make a leap and keep going, right? It's everything under that leap, everything he missed that was still there, everything that he went right over, all of that stuff is still there for him to accomplish. Like, I guarantee you, Cenat hasn't graduated college. He hasn't pursued music to a serious degree. Like, there's so many things like in that gap, those things that you might have missed just because your life got elevated, that he can go back and pursue. And I feel like that's going to be part of his journey. And shoot, why can't it be?
You put your "don't box me into being nothing but a streamer" message into a video where you are clickbaiting your content creation retirement. My brother in Christ, you are taping the box shut. Like, again, Kai wanting to make a fashion brand, totally cool. Kai wanting to direct some attention into things that aren't content creation, use the position he's found himself in to focus on things he's found new passions for. Great, I support it all the way. But asking me to buy into this message where you don't want to be boxed into just being a streamer anymore, when you are pulling what might be the most meta streamer move of all time, I'm not sure I can do that one. I also don't think I can really buy into this message because I don't really believe it. Like I mentioned earlier, I don't think there's anything wrong with using your platform or using your fame to like boost your brand and get it off the ground floor. But if you were really this dead set on not being boxed into just being a streamer, maybe I'm just crazy, but I feel like you would separate your clothing brand from your online presence, right? You know what I mean? Like, see if you can really make it, see if you really have what it takes without having hundreds of thousands, if not even like millions of people willing to buy whatever you're going to put out, regardless of how good it is. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think that would be kind of stupid.
I ain't gonna lie, that's a valid point. Because if this is something that he wants to pursue, using your social media platform to promote it, you just put it out there and act like it isn't yours. Eventually, people gonna know it's yours. Like, you eventually get to do it. But like, just for like the sake of it, like, you want to put out these designs, you know, put out these clothes, and you put them on the shelf and you see how they do it. And then you tell them, oh, I designed it. And then, you know, they're gonna fly off the shelf then. But just using your like social media presence just to like sell something like that, it's not really, you're not gonna really know if they like it for real. They're just buying it because they like you. So just because Kai Cenat made it, they're gonna buy it. Just because Kai Cenat designed those shoes, they're gonna wear them.
I will say though, if he wanted to differentiate it from being a streamer, like obviously he didn't stream the announcement. I will say that it could have been his big return to Twitch. He could have returned to Twitch, brought in all these people, brought in some celebs, had them wear his clothes. Like, he's obviously not trying to push a streamer agenda because obviously this wasn't streamed on YouTube or Twitch. So obviously there's not like a streamer angle that he's not trying to pursue or keep unironically or whatever the guy was trying to get off. And then when it comes to the clothing thing and like trying to keep it hidden, like it's to each their own. Like if Cenat wants the world to see that, hey, this is my thing, this is what I crafted, this is what I want the world to see, he has the right to do that. He doesn't have to get it out the mud because he's already done it. Just because he didn't do it for clothes doesn't mean he doesn't have to do it again. He doesn't have anything to prove anymore. He's already shown that if he does the hard work, if he does everything he's supposed to, if he does become entertaining, that the success will follow. And he's just reaping his own benefits of his own hard work. So I feel like that's really disingenuous, not gonna lie.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I think that would be kind of stupid. For any other scenario, it would be like, why in the hell would you ever sabotage basically guaranteed success by having those hundreds of thousands of people who you know are going to support you? But I feel like if you're going to make this big statement, you kind of need to put your money where your mouth is, you know? Maybe I'm just taking what he's saying too literally, but if you really don't want to be seen as just a streamer, well, this is not a way to do that. Like, nobody sees Pokimane as a baker. I mean, you're not really going to escape the box by just paying for a brand to be made. All of this is to say, this video is kind of, you know, just fucking stupid. Like, the whole thing, the whole way it's framed, it's just...
I got one more thing to say. I think for the most part, he has like escaped the box as much as anybody else can as a streamer. Like, because most people these days, because back then, like even a year, maybe two ago, you would consider just Kai Cenat the biggest streamer, right? But most people nowadays consider this guy a celebrity. Like, he's like straight up just a celebrity, like a lower tier celebrity, but a celebrity nonetheless. A guy who has contacts with like some of the biggest other celebrities, biggest athletes, biggest artists on earth. Like, I think he's already escaped that box enough. So I think when he does launch this clothing brand, if he truly wants to put it center front, then he can literally shave off that reputation because he's already done to escape that box for the most part. He's already done broke out from just that streamer to just a celebrity that most people can recognize in the household.
See, this is one of the things. See, with clothes, see, he gonna promote the clothes, obviously. But what when the clothes come out? What if that shit ass? What if I don't want to wear that shit? Because this obviously he's making something that's ground up. You know what I'm saying? His work. You know what I'm saying? He had his hands all over it. I'm not saying he did the work, but I'm saying like everything is inspired by him. Every piece is inspired by him. Like, he had his hands all over it. He had the thumbs up, thumb down. You know what I'm saying? He approved everything. So what if that nigga closed his ass?
Then they just suck. He's gonna go back, hit the drawing board. It's the same way with a YouTube video. What if I make this YouTube video and the video sucks? Well, we got to go back to the drawing board. We got to figure out what works and what don't. If his clothing sucks on the first launch, I guarantee he's just gonna go back to the drawing board. Go back to the drawing board and literally just try to figure out what works and what don't. Just like any other creator would.
Like, the whole thing, the whole way it's framed, it's just like, really? Is this what we're doing now? Take it from me. Take it from a guy who gets paid a lot of money to talk about stupid shit on the internet like this. Influencer problems are stupid, and they have never been more stupid than they are now. Look, does money solve all your problems? No, it doesn't. But a lot of the times it makes what your problems are a lot smaller compared to the average person. I mean, I'm going to give kind of benefit of the doubt here. I don't think that the whole, like, I quit overthinking angle is real. I think it was probably just dreamt up as a silly justification for the whole I quit title angle. So my criticism here is probably...
I gotta let you know. I'm not hating on Kai starting that clothing brand at all. I just gotta make that known. I'm just hating on the way he went about it, just saying the I quit thing. You know what I'm saying? By having so many fans, they have mixed emotions, and everybody ain't watched the video. Everybody ain't see the video at first until he tagged his main YouTube channel with it. But at the same time, like, people should be hating on this. I mean, this is something that he wants to do. He should do it. You know what I'm saying? If he wants to make clothes, you know what I'm saying? That's cool. You know what I'm saying? I hope the brand does well. If that shit ass, I'm gonna say that shit ass though. You know what I'm saying? You feel me?
So my criticism here is probably not to like a real thought Kai is having, but if he wants us to believe that like the journey he's been on here, like what he's quitting is overthinking, and more closely in his words, quitting his habit of overthinking when it comes to pursuing things he wants to do and not doing them because he thinks people view him as just a streamer. It's like, damn man, I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. That's a pretty small problem to have. Now look, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to be an asshole, I'm not trying to minimize this. These feelings of being stuck in a box is a real thing, it's a real phenomenon. But I mean, let's be honest with ourselves here for a second, people. When the biggest obstacle that you face in starting what is undoubtedly going to be a multi-million-dollar fashion company from the jump is just wondering about whether or not people are going to see you as just a streamer still, it's real hard for me to take that seriously.
Now he's being disingenuous. Now he's being a little bit of an asshole.
I mean, he been hating from the jump. I ain't gonna lie. Like 10% of this is facts, and like 90% is just straight. Like, I don't like Cenat because he has all this money, but he acts this like this is one of the things like Kai might have been like talking about, like, because like you expect him to act like the person he is on stream 24/7. Like he's getting out of his box, and when he does that, when he does something different, this is the basis of what like probably Kai is meaning. Like, this is the basis of it. Somebody expecting you to act like the way you act on stream all day 24/7, but you want to leave that box and be you. Cenat is being him. He might have always wanted to do clothes. We don't know that. We don't know what his inspiration is for clothes.
And then to straight up be like, yeah, your problems is that trying to minimize his feelings, his thoughts, because like they aren't like as serious as losing your home or not being able to pay rent, just because it's not like one of those types of situations. Like, he's trying to like minimize the way he feels, trying to play it off as like, yeah, it's just who cares, you're rich, who gives a fuck, when in reality, like, just because his problems are different from ours doesn't not mean they're not problems. Do they have the same severity? No. Do they have the same amount of consequences? No. But it's his world. It's his problems. It's his mental. And it's not like they're affecting anybody else's. So he has the right to feel this way. All this to Doug, the creator, by the way, who made this video, is like being just very disingenuous and just being very fucking nasty when it comes to this, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's low-key nasty. I'm not gonna lie. He ain't mad. Like, look.
Your biggest obstacle to starting a huge fashion brand is literally just a thought, because everything else is not an obstacle in the slightest. You literally document this in the video. You're already hiring like the best fashion designers you can find, the best brand builders you could get in contact with. It's like, dude, I'm happy for you. I think the fact that you're branching out is awesome. But the influencer problem, like the influencer struggle shit, has got to stop. I would not be surprised if you made over $100 million last year streaming, Kai, and you're using that money and you're leveraging your audience to start a brand that's going to make you millions on top of that. Nothing wrong with that. You shouldn't feel bad for being successful. But why are you trying to turn this into like a sympathy grab emotional thing? The position you're in is unbelievably privileged, and this video seems to be trying to frame you as like an underdog.
That's somebody making noise.
No, it's just the whole like trying to make it seem like you're an underdog. Like, yeah, obviously he's in a way better position than he was before. But like, Cenat was an underdog. Cenat isn't the guy a few years ago that you would have saw as the face of streaming. He's not the guy that you would have been like, oh, this guy's going to be on everybody's screens. This guy's going to be at freaking celebrity award shows. This guy's going to be in commercials that you see in the Super Bowl. Like, ever. Like, Cenat was a underdog. He straight up was. And I think he's overthinking the fact that Cenat is trying to get sympathy points. I don't think Cenat is trying to get sympathy points. I think he's simply just trying to speak what's on his mind. And when he's speaking what's on his mind, it has this like level of like this underlying tone of just like, yeah, this has been on my mind heavy lately. If he's not allowed to express that, if he's not allowed to feel, then like, what are we doing as humans? Because like, people are allowed to feel this way. Just because he has like a lot more money than us, just because he doesn't have the same problems with us, doesn't mean like his mental doesn't get weighed down. We see it all the time. We see these celebrities with hundreds of thousands of dollars lose their minds. We've seen it with Kanye. We've seen it with Antonio Brown. Like, it's just a lot of things. Like, it's a different set of problems, but it's still problems that could drive you nuts regardless. And the fact that Cenat is just like putting it on display for us to see, like, and all we're doing is just saying, bro, that's corny, bro, that's corny. It's nasty, all right? Like, let him be.
This whole idea of like, oh, people just see me as a streamer. Like, yeah, what the fuck else would they see you as, Kai? You haven't proved yourself as a fashion designer. You haven't been talking about this. You disappear. You stop streaming for like 3 months, and then out of the blue, you come back with this clickbait video about how you've been doing all this, but like nobody knew any of this. Why would anybody think of you as anything other than a streamer?
That whole last sentence was straight hate. That was straight from the heart, bro. I don't know if he just don't like God. I'm gonna go look through his videos. I know he got multiple videos of God. Because there's no, because that sounded just like straight hate, bro. Like from the heart.
Like, that's not really a society issue. That's not you being put into a box. That's just people like recognizing what you do for a living. I don't know. Maybe I just don't get it. But this whole thing just comes across as real out of touch.
Yeah, it's been a lot of talk online about Cenat lately and the decisions he's been making. But let us know what you think in the comment section below. Do you think Cenat went about this the entirely wrong way? Do you think the internet is super unforgiving when somebody tries to make a change with their brand? Let us know in the comment section below. If you are new to this channel and you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to leave us a like, comment, and subscribe. And there's a 2-thing on phones called hype. So if you can hype the video as well, that'd be very much appreciated. This has been T-Bangs, and this has been J-Dub, and we have been the Afterthought Duo, and we will see you in the next video. Peace.